We're back with this large Cotoneaster Cascade. I'm going to try and repot it today. I've almost left it a little bit too late. It's starting to leaf out. So this is really sort of a last chance saloon time to actually get it repotted. I want to try and change the angle in the pot because it's right over to that side, and I've actually put a piece of stone in there that you probably can't see right into this point, and that just kind of holds it up slightly. Otherwise it sits down onto the lip of the pot here, and I think I'd like to try and rotate it in the pot slightly so that it's more coming out over the corner, but we'll have to look at that once I've got it out of the pot and I can try manoeuvring it a little bit. I know these big tall pots are no longer the fashion, and in bonsai circles they're kind of a bit last year, but A, I've got the pot, and B, I like the pot, and C, I don't really care what's in fashion today and what isn't in fashion today. This tree's going back into this pot. That's assuming I can get it out. How much of that I film I don't know, because I don't think it's going to be pretty getting it out. It's been in here 3-4 years perhaps, and to cap it all, there is a lip inside the pot, so yeah, could be awkward. I'm fairly certain that it's not going to come out with but a tug. No, of course it's rigid. It's very, very firm. The label is completely blackened, so whatever I wrote on there telling me what it was and when it was has gone completely. I'm basically going to have to start digging around in the top of the pot here, trying to loosen it as best I can. In fact, let's stop this, get it off the turntable and into the tray, so at least I contain the mess. Okay, so I'm basically just going to be scraping away down the side of the pot as best I can. This isn't going to be anywhere near long enough for the job, but hopefully if I can get a bit of purchase, I can then begin to manoeuvre it out. Let's lay it down somewhat. Let's adjust the camera. I'm basically trying to damage the root balls as little as possible, yet at the same time loosen it enough that I can get it out of the pot. I could do with a extendable root hook. I'm also worried about catching the camera. And all the microphone wire. But well, it's loosening, but it's probably not loosening all the way down. Okay, let's turn the camera off. I think I'm going to have to wrestle this. I'm going to move the camera to one side, well out of the way. I've already smashed one camera this year. I don't want to make it two. With the aid of a cane, for getting down into some of the depths. I've actually got it most of the way out now, as you can see. So it's just a question of then I'm just keep cutting away at the base where it's catching on the lip. Eventually it's going to come out. Hasn't been quite as bad as as I thought it was going to. Okay, I can actually feel the bottom now. We're very nearly, so very nearly there. There we go. Well, that was fun. Enjoyable. Half an hour? No, probably wasn't that. It was probably 10 minutes. Begin to see why they're not in fashion anymore, because they are quite a bit of work getting out. But that's also possibly my fault because I left it in for so long. Okay, so clear the decks and start working on this root ball. Now, one of the things I want to work on with this tree is getting the root ball, or the root base rather, more central. Because at the moment it's all over to one side, and I don't remember why I did it that way. Perhaps the tree was that bit smaller and it wouldn't reach over the edge or something. But all I'm going to try and do is take some off the edge here, so that I can bring the tree back into the middle of the pot somewhat. I'm not going to take the saw to it, I don't want to be too rough. This stuff is going through quite easily at the present, so just going to use the scissors. Okay, let's clear the decks and bring the pot back in. So I've given the pot a bit of a scrub, get the green algae off and things, and now it's a question of seeing where I can get away with putting this tree. I had thought about something like that. So that has the tree more central within the pot, but also raised up somewhat in the pot and more on the diagonal. Whereas before it was kind of coming over the edge like so. I prefer it at the diagonal, I think. Definitely, yeah, I'm thinking about there. Okay, so before I can do that, I need to start filling the pot with soil. And the pot has 4 large drainage holes, and rather than just individually cover them, I've cut a piece of mesh that will fit on the bottom quite nicely. I'm not even going to secure it in place. The weight of the soil and the tree should do that quite nicely. What I want is it to be sitting over that edge without touching the edge, which isn't going to be easy, but I think with a little bit of jiggery pokery it can be persuaded. It is going to increase the angle rather than being straight down, but I think I prefer it like that. Also, it means each pad will get slightly better light than it has been getting, so that's a bonus. So now we just need to fill in, and I need to make sure that I fill in this bit first, because I don't want to end up with the tree so far from the middle. This is going to take a little while, so I will speed it up for you. Okay, let's try this piece of wood instead of that little stone. See if that'll persuade it to stay upright a little better. Okay. Seems no matter what I do, it's going to want to touch the edge of that pot. So there has to be a way around that. I just have to think of it. I've come up with a plan. Basically, I have taken that piece of bamboo and wedged it down into the side of the pot there, like so. I'm going to cut it off so that it's not too obvious and not interfering with this part of the tree, and then I'm simply going to put a little loop of wire through there like so and round said piece of bamboo, and that's going to hold the tree up and in place, and hopefully it will then set at that angle over the next year or so, before that bamboo cane rots away. That's my thoughts. You can tell me if you think I'm wasting my time down in the comments. Around so you can see, hopefully, a moment when the tree decides to lift up off the edge of the pot. There we go. Now it is no longer touching the pot, which is nice. Okay, so the tree was still drooping a little, so I put a prop under it, and that's helped no end. So yeah, let's just chop some of that away because it's a bit unsightly. And some of these pads are now at a bit of an odd angle, but they will come round to the light, as it were, and they should all get a slightly better bit of light than they were getting before. So now I've got this up and off the lip of the pot. I want to bring this part down, so I'm going to put on a piece of wire, and hopefully it won't snap on me. We shall see. Okay, so and then this piece to bend a bit further back round in that direction, like so. That's better. That's much better. It's a bit of a subtle bend. You can't see much where it is bent, but that has brought the cascading part more back to the vertical. Not entirely, but I don't want it entirely vertical. That's better. I'm much happier with that. Maybe just put a piece of wire to bring that branch up. Yeah. Yes, that would be good. I'm going to do it. Yes. So I'm just gonna, there's a gap between bark and wire I can utilise there as an anchor point. And I've said this many times, if you want to learn how to wire, I'm not your guy. You know, if you want to wire for exhibitions and, you know, when people expect perfect angles and perfect alignments and you know, following all the rules of the bonsai world, I haven't really followed any of the rules there, but I have got that wire into place where I want it to be. This one I'm going to trim more at the top here and less there, and eventually it'll become horizontal again, if that makes sense. And obviously this branch has got a long way to go to make a pad. Okay, so let's give the tree a bit of a trim and then we're done. Okay, so we just start up at the top here, and I'm just going to be trimming these pads back. And because this pad now is at this strange little angle, I'm actually going to remove some from the top on this side and from the bottom on this side. Well, that shows on camera, but already that pad is more back to the horizontal, and obviously now it will grow that way. Okay, so it's just going to be a question now of redirecting some of this growth into a more flat angled pad as opposed to a downward pad, which it has become. Some of these branches were getting a bit fat and gnarly at the tips, so in actual fact, by losing that, it's making the structure look a little bit lighter, which is, you know, doing it a bit of a favour in the longer run. Okay, so there's the new front. No, hopefully, as I say, within a year or so, can move these little props, and the tree will look better for it. Actually, I'm just going to take a big congested lump off the end of there. Just makes it look a little bit lighter. There we go. And obviously we'll keep trimming that over the years, and Bob's your uncle. Okay, so this is my new front, and I'm very pleased with the new placement of the tree. I think coming out over this corner is much better. Give you a quick 360. There we go. I just decided to give this one last little bend off camera, and well, there's your result. There was obviously a weakening here where this scar was anyway, and yeah, several years of Cascade work, a bye-bye. Still, no point crying over spilt milk, as they say. I still have a very interesting root over rock, not root over rock, exposed root tree, and we just start again. One of these branches here is going to become a new Cascade portion of this tree. Thank you so much for watching. Please do take care of yourselves and your trees. Watch those final decisions on a little bit more. Sometimes a little bit more is a little bit too much. Stay safe, everybody.